I'm Madison Moffat, and the book I chose to read was The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. It's 233 pages. The Things They Carried is about the journey of a soldier named Tim O'Brien. Tim was a well-educated man who was drafted into the war. He had no desire of becoming a soldier, but because he didn't want to shame himself or his family, instead of running away, he decided to stay and fight. The war was tough on him. He uses this novel as a way to help himself get over his guilt. He saw things and did things during the war that he wishes he could forget. He pours all of the tragic and other memorable events that happened to both he and his fellow soldiers into a variety of short stories throughout the book. And by the end, he's able to find a little bit of peace with the things that he had carried with him for the past 20 years. Tim O'Brien is a pacifist who gets drafted to go to war and only stays to fight so he doesn't shame his family or hurt his own pride. Jimmy Cross is the lieutenant of the Alpha Company who didn't even want the job. He doesn't think he is fit to lead his group of men because he is so distracted by his love for Martha, a girl back home, that he blames himself for the deaths of two of the men in their company. Kiowa, O'Brien's closest friend, who always seemed to find a way to stay cool and collected even with all the horrific things going on during the war. Bob, Rat Kiley, the platoon's medic who has a lot of respect from the rest of the men, but as the war drags on, he succumbs to the stresses and intentionally wounds himself, so he has to be removed from his post. My favorite character is Kiowa because he is just level-headed and kind, and was a very good friend to Tim. The setting is the Vietnam War, and the theme is that the things the soldiers carried, not just the physical objects, such as equipment or gear, but the emotional and mental burdens, were just as taxing for them because they had to accept the things they saw and did over there in order to be able to move on and live their lives.